Hello! In today's video we will be looking at some wireless microphones. Not just any wireless microphones, some good ones. Anyway, let's roll titles! Hi, I'm Kip from kiphakes.tv, and in today's video we are looking at this. This is the RØDE Wireless GO II. Now you might have seen my video about the RØDE Wireless GO microphones and I love them. I'm actually wearing one right now. It's down there, but I'm connected to this lavalier microphone, and that is what is powering the sound on this video and practically every other video I've done recently. I just really like how they work. And if you're not aware of how they work, basically you've got a receiver and you've got a transmitter, and this plugs into your camera, this clips onto your clothes, and you can either plug in a lavalier mic or use the inbuilt microphone, and it will wirelessly transmit the audio from one to the other. And it's like, you know, a professional setup rather than having wires running from you to the camera. Now the RØDE Wireless GO is so good, but RØDE have come back and improved it, and I did wonder how they could improve such a good system, but they have. So what's the difference? So the original RØDE Wireless GO just comes with one transmitter and one receiver, and that's it. You can't add additional transmitters and the receiver will pick them up. You can use multiple ones, up to 8 together in the same area, but they just come as a pair, and that is it. And it works fine, you know, it's good. But RØDE have come along and said, well, why don't we allow people to use 2 transmitters? So that's what they've done. They've added 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, and they're all linked together. So that is the main difference, but there are some other subtle differences as well. I mean, they look practically identical. Without the Wireless GO II written all over the new ones, you probably wouldn't really be able to tell the difference, but differences there are. So let's just have a little comparison between the 2 different units, and yeah, we'll talk about it. So the original RØDE Wireless GO retails at around about £169. The RØDE Wireless GO II retails for around about £279. The RØDE Wireless GO original uses a Series 3 2.4 GHz wireless transmission with 128-bit encryption, which gives you a working range of around about 70 meters line of sight. So that's quite a good distance. However, the RØDE Wireless GO II uses Series 4 2.4 GHz digital wireless transmission with 128-bit encryption, and that offers an amazing 200 meters range in line of sight. I mean, that is just silly. I mean, I can't think of any reason why you'd be 200 meters away from your camera, but you can. Now, they're both similar with battery life. They both last around about 7 hours from a full charge, which I'd say is probably accurate. I've found that very much with the RØDE Wireless GO. The battery life is very good and does last about 7 hours, and you can charge it up by using the USB-C connectors on both of them. Now the output of the RØDE Wireless GO is a 3.5mm TSR analog output. So that will plug straight into your camera or a recording source. And the same is true on the RØDE Wireless GO II. It has that same output, but it also has a USB-C output as well, which supports USB-C and iOS digital audio. So you can basically pipe the audio into your Android phone or into your iOS phone. You don't get the cables for that in the box. You need special cables, which I'll put details of in the description. So yeah, you can plug this directly into your phone and have amazing audio quality in your phone when you record, which is really good, because whilst phones look great for recording video, sometimes the sound quality can be a little bit patchy, but that's no longer the case. But one of the amazing differences between the original RØDE Wireless Go and the RØDE Wireless Go 2 is the fact that it can actually record audio within the memory that's inbuilt into it. So as well as transmitting the audio to your camera and the camera recording it, it basically saves little audio files onto the wireless transmitter that you can access afterwards, and then you can play about with the mix a little bit more should you need to. If you need to boost one side of the audio and not the other side, then you can do that because you've got these two separate recordings, so it makes it a lot more versatile. Yeah, but we'll look at that in a little bit more detail shortly. I think what we'll do now is we'll go over to the table and get it unboxed. I know this is a silly thing not to like, but I don't like this glued packaging. It means the boxes are always untidy. You can't just like put things back in the box because you get a flappy, torn, gluey flap, and no one wants that. It's super glue by the feels of it. See, why this isn't the smooth unboxing that I want. Goodness me. The RØDE chastity belt. Oh, I'm just destroying the box now. This is just sad. Come on, RØDE. Ah. Oh. Poor box. Right, let's get in and see what's in this box. So, we've got some cables here. But first of all, we've got a quick start guide. So we've got a TRS cable for connecting it to the camera. And then we have, which is new on the RØDE Wireless Go 2, USB-C connections. Well, actually, no, that's not strictly true. The original RØDE Wireless Go had USB-C connectors, and there is also an iPhone cable as well, so you can plug this directly into your iPhone, but that is available separately. Okay, let's see what else is in the box. Aha, aha. We have got a pouch, and then some sweeties for the children. They are not sweeties for the children, obviously. Okay, look at this. So, well, one of the main differences from the RØDE Wireless Go 2 to the RØDE Wireless Go 1, I guess, it comes with two transmitters which go into this one receiver. So that means you can have two people with mics and it sends them both to this one receiver. And I think you get audio from one channel to the left channel on one side and the right channel on the other. Or if you're just recording solo, then you can just use one of them. And yeah, we've got the little windshields included. Those are 3 of those. There we go. So it doesn't look too dissimilar to the original RØDE Wireless Go. You've got a USB-C connector there. That's the power button there. Got the logo there. And then on the top, you've got the inbuilt microphone, so you can use this as a microphone, or you can plug in an external microphone like a lav mic. And there we have a battery indicator light and also the link indicator light, so it shows if it's linked to the receiver. Apparently these go on better than the original. They do. I mean, it does look like Tina Turner as ever, but that's pretty cool. And also it's good that they've included 3 of them, because you might lose one, so that's quite handy. So let's see what happens if we power them on. Hopefully they've got charge. I mean, this could end very quickly if they don't. There we go. And let's turn on the receiver. There we go. Okay, so what do we have on here? So we have got a USB-C connector. We've got the TRS connector, so you can plug into the camera. And then on the bottom there, we have got a button that changes the sensitivity and a mode button as well. So let's see what that does. Oh, okay, so you can switch between the 2. Ah, you can mute one microphone altogether, that's handy. There we go, let's unmute it, there we go. Ah, I see. So instead of having the sound through 2 channels, it just switches it into pressing and holding down puts it into mono mode. So let's do that again. There we go, we're back in stereo. So I see. That's super cool. I like that. Now the cool thing about these is they store the audio recordings on here as well. So you can plug it in to the USB on your computer and you can actually get audio files off of this, which is brilliant. So you can use the audio that's recorded through this onto your camera as sort of like a way to sync up the audio and video, and then you can pull the audio files off of here so you can do a bit more mixing and change things up in post-processing. So that gives a lot more flexibility. And yeah, I'm excited to try that because, for example, I know when I'm filming videos with James, his voice is quite often quieter or he mumbles and stuff like that. And it will be good to just have the raw audio files there and I can just pull his channel in and boost him and not have me boosted as well. And also, that's interesting, as well as acting as a power button, this acts as a mute button. So, you know, if you're recording and you need to go to the toilet and you don't want the cameraman to hear you doing a wee, you could just mute your microphone. Very handy. So, yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll try some audio comparisons and things like that with the RØDE Wireless Go, which is what I'm actually using to record the audio with this one on. And yeah, we'll have a little play with it, do some range tests maybe. But that is the RØDE Wireless GO II unboxed. Now I did make a slight mistake when I was talking in the unboxing. I mentioned mono and stereo with being the M and S. Now that is actually incorrect. They call it mixed and split. So it's basically how I described it, where on the mix, both transmitters are merged into one channel, and so therefore it's just one stream of sound. And with the split, you've got one channel on the left and one channel on the right, and that is how it records basically. So you'll have one person in one ear and one person in the other. So, you know, it is essentially to me mono and stereo, but they call it mix and split. I didn't want to get any confusion. Now, the big difference about the RØDE Wireless GO II is it actually has some accompanying software, which is what you need to use to access the recordings that are on the device. And also you can do configuration and updates and things like that. So I thought what we'd do now is look at my screen and we'd go through using the RØDE Central software and just see how it all works. This is all pretty new to me. I've never used it before. I've just simply installed it from the website and fired it up, and it's asking me to connect a RØDE device to get started. So we'll plug in our receiver unit and see what happens. It seems to be waiting and ready. To use this device with RØDE Central, it will need to be updated. Okay, well we can update it. So it's obviously doing some kind of firmware update. I did read that there were some issues with the original firmware, so it's good that it's being upgraded to the latest and greatest. And then we can see how it all works. There we go. It's been upgraded to version 1.6. And it looks like we've got a lot of details on here. So let's have a little look at how we can configure it and how it all works. Okay. So you can turn the backlight on and off on the device. I mean, that's quite handy if you're filming in a dark environment and you don't want the bright screen glaring out of your recording. And then there is a gain mode, and this by default has got 3 different pads of gain alteration, and if you put it into fine mode it gives you 10, so you can really alter the gain really finely. I'm pretty happy with the 3 that it comes with by default, but if you're a bit more professional and you really need to alter the gain, turning on the fine gain mode will be perfect for you. So yeah, I'm just going to set mine to the coarse gain mode and go for low gain, because that's how this one is set up at the moment. And yeah, this is it. This is the split mode or the merged mode. Now when you've got it in merged mode, it can record a safety channel, and basically the safety channel is exactly the same, but it's dropped down to, by minus 20 decibels. So if one of the people wearing a microphone makes the microphone distort by talking loudly and it just blows it completely out, then there is a safety recording which you can turn on, and that is just recorded at a lower level, and so even if there's a problem with that merged soundtrack, you've still got a separate recording at that lower volume, so that's quite handy. But yeah, that only works in merge mode. If you turn off merge mode, the safety channel is switched off. So yeah, there we go. And it gives you some details about the device, the battery level, the firmware level, and the hardware ID. So yeah, that is what you see when you plug in the receiver. Let's plug in a transmitter and see what that looks like. Oh, there we go. This transmitter needs an update. I better update that. Thankfully though, the update is pretty quick and pretty painless. There we go. This has been upgraded to 1.6 now. That's really smart. Now let's have a look at the settings. Okay, so this is a bit more interesting. There are different types of recording that the transmitters can do. You can just turn it off completely and it won't record anything onto the device, or you can set it so it always records. So whenever the transmitter is on, it is recording. Or you can do a backup recording, which is whenever the receiver is switched on and it is connected to the transmitter, it will record. So that probably makes the most sense to me. So I'm going to set it like that for mine. And also here you can turn off the pad or the gain settings, so you can turn that on, or you can just make it so it's done via the receiver, as we saw when we were looking at the receiver. LEDs you can change from dim to bright. I might knock them down to dim because they can be a little bit bright, especially if you've got the transmitter on your clothes. You can have a bit of a flashing light, and yet we'll allow the mute as well. And you can also change the quality of the recording. So at the moment it's set to broadcast quality, which is uncompressed, and that will give you 7 hours of recording. Or you can knock it down to standard, which is compressed, and that gives you 43 hours of recording. So if you want this backup recording and you're not overly bothered about the quality, it's just simply there as a backup, you can record up to 43 hours, which is mad. But I think I'm just going to keep it to broadcast quality, uncompressed, and that'll be perfect. So that's really smart. I like that. It's so good that you've got the option of a backup recording, because there have been times, for whatever reason, the camera's not recorded the audio properly, and knowing that it's stored on the transmitter as well is a real godsend. So I'm really pleased about that. While I was editing this video, I realised that I hadn't actually shown you what it looks like to have a recording on your device. So here it is. And basically all the recordings are listed down here, and they save in this strange format, which is called an UGG file. I've not heard of that before. So to get them from the Rode to wherever you want them to go, you have to click on export, and then you can choose what format you want them in, and yeah, you just click on export and you can save it to wherever you want it to go. So I'm gonna put mine on the desktop, and that is it exported. So yeah, you can then whack that in your editing software and keep a copy of it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this audio recording and drop it into the editing software. Anyway, back to kit. Excellent. So yeah, that is the Rode Central software, and I'm very impressed with that. Right, okay, I think what I will do is I will now test the audio quality between the original Rode Wireless Go and the RØDE Wireless GO II. I'll keep the lavalier mic that I'm wearing and just simply swap out the packs between the two of them, and we can just see how it all sounds. So the only way that you can really test a microphone is by reading a bit of the Gruffalo. So let's read a bit of the Gruffalo and switch between the two recording devices and see how they sound. On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. An owl saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. "Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have tea in my treetop house." "It's frightfully nice of you, owl, but no, I'm going to have tea with a gruffalo." "A gruffalo? What's a gruffalo?" "A gruffalo? Why, didn't you know? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes and a poisonous wart on the end of his nose." "Where are you meeting him?" "Here by this stream, and his favourite food is owl ice cream." "Owl ice cream? To-wit, to-woo! Goodbye, little mouse." And away owl flew. Silly old owl, doesn't he know there's no such thing as a gruffalo? So there you have it. I'm pretty impressed with the RØDE Wireless GO II. I think it takes something that was a really good product and just improves it immeasurably and makes it a bit more versatile and gives you a lot more options, especially when it comes to mixing the sound, because having the separate recordings of the audio on both transmitters is just such a great idea, and it's really smart. And because of the different storage options, it means you can go out for an entire day and get all this audio and have it all safely recorded and just there as a backup should you need it. It's very, very clever. And the way it's priced is, obviously, if you wanted to record 2 people with the original RØDE Wireless GO, then you'd need 2 sets, so 2 times £169, which is obviously more expensive than the RØDE Wireless GO II, which gives you 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, so and essentially achieves the same thing. It's fantastic that you can just get these out of the box and go. You don't need a separate lavalier mic. As I said earlier, you can just clip this to your clothes and use the microphone that's inbuilt on the transmitters. And also, it's worth remembering, because some people might not know this, is the clips double as cold shoe mounts, so you can unclip it slightly and hook it onto your camera, which is great. So yeah, that is it. That is the RØDE Wireless GO II unboxed, set up and used and explained, and hopefully it gives you a bit of food for thought between the original RØDE Wireless GO and the RØDE Wireless GO II. So yeah, that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll be back soon for some more vlogging fun. See ya!